DMF Common Chords, a new series that pairs musicians from diverse backgrounds to share their musical gifts with all. Hello and welcome to DMF Common Chords. My name is Juliana. I'll be your host as we introduce you to new artists and use the power of music to build a bridge between musicians of all abilities. On this episode, we will hear from two amazingly talented artists, Danielle Hollobaugh and David Swanson, also known as the Imperial Stormlooper. Hello, guys. How are you?
Hi.
Hey, how's it going, Juliana?
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for asking. Thank you both for appearing on Common Chords. I'm really looking forward to hearing your music.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be back working with you guys again. It's always a good opportunity when Daniel's Music Foundation calls.
Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you for saying that. No, it's our pleasure. We are really excited about it. So let's get started with a little background on our first amazing musician. Blind since birth, Danielle has let nothing get in the way of her larger-than-life dreams. Her persistence to that dream has resulted in her winning the National Talent Quest karaoke competition in the women's country category, the Southeastern Idol competition in Florida, and taking home Best Songwriter and overall winner at the Florida Ignition Showcase. Danielle is also close to our hearts as she was an award recipient for her compelling original song composition, Come Alive, at the first ever 2020 Danny Awards. Throughout her competitive career, Danielle has been hard at work creating music that can empower people to chase their dreams as relentlessly as she has. Danielle, you are both a singer and a songwriter. How did that become your passion in life?
So I've kind of always had a passion for singing when I was competing a lot and really getting into the industry type of stuff, but I had never really written, and people started telling me I should write. And until like a few years ago, I've been kind of forcing myself to write music because it's just like I just want to sing. Like I want other people to write my songs. I want to be famous, all this stuff, and then I kind of realized that once I started working with other people and writing with other people, that it's really, really fun. And that's kind of how I sort of got the passion for writing.
Okay. And throughout your career, what were the key turning points that helped you along your career path?
I would say the big ones are the first few times I won a competition, it was just really, really fun. And then getting in a studio for the first time and kind of getting to know that recording process. I had never heard of a session singer before, and then my voice coach was starting to bring it up to me a lot, just in talking about other singers. And I finally asked him what that was, and it just clicked. Like after a few times in the studio, I realized this is where I want to be for my career. I just love it so much behind the mic, and I always learned so much about myself singing. So that was a big turning point. And then moving to Los Angeles and working with different producers and starting to be in the room with other writers really just solidified that this is what I want. I just really want to keep doing. And then in the last month or so, I got my first licensing placement in a movie trailer. So it was really cool to see my song in a trailer. And I definitely was inspired. Like I want to keep writing for movies and TV and seeing what else can come of this crazy, cool journey.
That's awesome. And I'm glad you explained what a session singer is because I didn't know what that was either. So as we mentioned in your introduction, this is not your first experience with Danielle's Music Foundation. Could you please tell our viewers about your experience as an award recipient at the first annual Danny Awards earlier this year?
Yeah, so I got contacted about winning an award, and then I would get to come to New York City, which was really cool because I'd never been. So I got a friend to go with me last minute, and we just spent a couple of days there, and we took in as much as we possibly could. I froze like crazy because I'm a Florida girl, and that weather, even in March, is too much for me, but it was worth it. It was so worth it. The ceremony was amazing. Everybody was so kind and talented, and it was just really cool to meet people, make new friends. and the audience was so energetic and just loving what everyone was into. So it was a blast. It was a great time.
And you were absolutely magnificent. Your performance at the Danny's was breathtaking. Can you tell us a little bit about the songs that we're going to hear?
Yeah, so the first one is called Come Alive, and it's the one that I actually won the Danny Awards with. It's just about getting out in nature and enjoying yourself, and I feel really honored that somebody saw my music video and they decided to give me an award for it. Like, they were inspired enough to contact me about it, so that's a really cool thing. And the next song will be kind of an ode to the spooky season. I released this last year, and I actually never gotten around to performing it yet. So I think it's going to be cool. It's called Haunted Mansion, so it's definitely got the Halloween vibes going.
Oh, I love Halloween. I'm so glad to hear you say that. So this is pretty much the premiere of this performance.
Yeah, I guess like debut performance or something.
Now I'm really, really excited. Well, I'm going to give you a second to go get in position. And I have to tell you, I've had the amazing experience of seeing this wonderful woman perform live, and you are in for a beautiful performance.
There's something magical about taking a step back from the day to day. Something so wonderful about finding an oasis just to get away. So find a lake and we'll wash away the distractions and the noise. And when the sun goes down and the moon comes out, we'll be dancing in the dark, laying underneath the stars, sing our favorite songs round the burning lungs. Leave these crazy world behind. In these woods we come alive. Come alive. Come alive. Let's catch some fireflies, look into their light and watch them leave. Yeah, remember what it's like to feel nothing but earth beneath our feet. Yeah, listen to the trees going through the trees and just toss all our burdens aside. Sun goes down and the moon comes out, we'll be dancing in the dark, laying underneath the stars, sing our favorite songs round the burning lungs. Leave this crazy world behind. In these woods we come alive. Come alive. Ooh. Come alive. Come alive. Ooh. The beauty of a moonlit sky, the feeling of a gentle wind on my face, the sounds of a summer night. It makes me come to life. And the moon comes out, laying underneath the stars. Ooh, yeah, yeah. In these woods we come alive.
guys for coming to this live stream and checking me out. That was my song, Come Alive. It's the song that won a Danny Award, so it's the reason I got to go meet all these guys in New York and have an amazing time right before all this, before the pandemic started. I have not cut my hair since then, so if you like long hair, enjoy it, because I'm excited for quarantine to be over because of that. But anyway, so thank you again to Danielle's Music Foundation for having me. I'm really excited to be doing this, and yeah, so I'm also really excited that this is happening right before Halloween. That's my favorite time of the year, and so I wrote some music for it. So to kind of commemorate spooky season, this next song I released last year, and well, it definitely, I tried to incorporate Halloween-themed sounds and stuff in the music. I think it's kind of something that we can all relate to any time of the year. It's about grief and what happens when you lose someone you really, really care about. Like, they don't leave you, and sometimes it's harder than others. Sometimes you're really happy, and then sometimes you really miss them. So yeah, here's my song, Haunted Mansion. We were so in love, get enough, everything was perfect. Jeez, it made it feel so worth it. But just like a ship sinking quickly, you disappeared like a ghost, leaving behind all this heartache. Now I had to face it alone. The air gets cold, I hear your voice, but you're not there to hold. It's like I'm living in a haunted mansion. It's like I'm living in a haunted mansion. The sun is coming up, I can breathe again, and I'll live without you. To the light, future in my sight, living on to something new. But just like a song about heartbreak, I'll always remember the cost. This house is much bigger when you're gone, so empty that I could get lost. The air gets cold, I hear your voice, but you're not there to hold. It's like I'm living in a haunted mansion. Leave me alone, please let me go. It's like I'm living in a haunted mansion. I see a new rainbow of color in front of my eyes. When I'm awake, I feel hope, like there's something in me. And when the night comes, I just pray that I won't fall asleep. 'Cause our love, it lingers and it's calling out to me. Like I can't escape and it's my darkest destiny, yeah. It's giving me shivers and I'm seeing ghosts all the time. The demons take over inside my mind.
in a haunted mansion.
Danielle, that was fantastic. It gave me goosebumps. You are such a talented performer.
Thank you.
No, please, you absolutely deserve it. And you know what I think I'm most impressed by is your professionalism. I noticed between your first song and your second, when you started that second song, you had maybe like a tickle in your throat or a little cough.
I swallowed my water wrong.
I know how that feels. I know how that feels. But I just wanted to point it out. It's the mark of a true professional to keep going and to not let it affect your performance. And you did that effortlessly. So really, really fantastic job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And now for a little background on our second amazing musician. Traveling from a galaxy far, far away, the Imperial Stormlooper combines a loop station, bass, voice, and beatboxing, and of course, special effects to create a music experience like no other on this planet. Drawing on influences from time spent in rock, funk, jazz, classical ensembles, and beyond, Stormlooper weaves a new kind of sonic experience with every live performance. Utilizing a mix of catchy compositions and live improvisation, his goal is to make music that inspires people to explore new ways of doing awesome things. David, the type of music you create seems so unique. What inspires you when you're crafting your sound?
Well, a lot of my sound actually comes from the past music I've played. Being a bass player, I've gotten a lot of work just because every single group needs a bass player. Regardless of how many other musicians you have on stage, a lot of the times, except in an orchestra, you're going to have just one bass player. Rock band, funk band, blues, jazz, all these kinds of bands that might have more guitars, more horns, all that kind of stuff, only ever one bass player. So the music I make with the Imperial Stormlooper and the things that inspire me really come from my past influences and the past music that I have played. It's all kind of been marinating and, becoming a part of me just over time. And this is kind of what comes out on the other end. The other side of it also is the more modern electronic music that I listen to. I like to do everything more manually. I don't really use electronic production too much, but I do really like the effects and the sounds that come out of modern electronic production. So it's kind of a combination of both those things.
Huh, I don't think I ever knew that there really is only ever one bass player. That wasn't something that I knew.
Yeah, outside of a orchestral setting, it doesn't sound good when you have more than one bass player. It's actually a matter of science that the frequencies are going to clash and it actually won't sound like one bass playing. It'll sound like a mishmash. So yeah, one bass all the way.
So I guess it's true. It really is all about that bass, huh? So I do have a question I have to ask you. How did you come up with the name the Imperial Stormlooper?
I thought it was a very, very obvious name, but apparently other people did not, because I Googled it when I first thought about it, and I Googled it, and I Googled it, and I kept searching, and I kept looking for someone else to have taken it, but no one did. So it was just a very obvious pun, against what I do with the looping, and, everybody's got a little Star Wars kid in them somewhere. So, a little shout out to that as well.
I love that. And I think the name is as unique as your music is. How did you become connected with Danielle's Music Foundation?
I was playing a show as the Stormlooper up on the Upper East Side in New York City. And Vernon, who's associated with Danielle's Music Foundation, actually was playing after me, I believe. And he just reached out and he said, "Hey, I really like what you did. I think you'd fit in really, really well with this foundation, Danielle's Music Foundation. They have this thing called the Underground Performance Series, and he said I would be a great fit." So he gave me the number, and I called DMF, and I got connected with you, Juliana, and a bunch of other great people. And I'm so glad I called. It was such a great opportunity.
I'm so glad you called too. And I remember that performance at our DMF Underground at our music center. You really, really shined that night. So I can't wait to see more of that. Can you tell us a little bit about the music that we're going to hear from you?
Sure. So everything you're about to hear right now is completely live. I'll be doing all the recording and overdubbing live. So everything you're hearing, I'm producing either with my mouth and beatboxing sounds, or on a bass guitar and some effects put on top of it. The first song you're going to be hearing is called Do I Wanna Know by the Arctic Monkeys. It's a cover.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you go get in position. And I just want to let you know, I have heard David perform before. And again, I think you are in for an absolute treat. What this man does with sound is incredible.
I'm sorry to interrupt, it's just I'm constantly on the cusp of trying to kiss you. I don't know if you feel the same as I do, but we could be together if you wanted to. So I wanna know if this feeling flows both ways and to see you go. Sort of hoping that you'd stay. Maybe we both know that the nights were made for saying things that you can't say some other day. Crawling back to you at the thought of calling when you've had a few, 'cause I always do. Maybe I'm too busy being yours to fall for somebody new. Now I've gone it through, crawling back to you. I don't wanna know, I don't wanna know, I don't wanna know. Crawling back to you. I'm crawling when you've had a few, 'cause I always do.
David, that was such a remarkable performance. Thank you so much. I also wanted to let you know that I really appreciate you turning your camera and giving us the vertical view. It allowed for us to really see all the different equipment that you work with and to get an idea of all the different pieces you use to create your sound.
A lot of buttons. People who look at this for the first time are a little bit dumbfounded, seeing all the lights and buttons, and they're wondering how I remember how everything works, and sometimes I don't. So if something sounds a little off, sometimes I might have forgotten what that particular button was.
Well, from where I'm sitting, it looked like you were completely comfortable with your setup. So thank you again. I'm going to bring both of our musicians back up, and we can find out a little bit more about them. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hello.
Good to have you back. So I'd like to take just a few moments to ask some more questions so that our viewers can get a little bit more of an idea about your musical process.
Awesome.
All right, bring it on.
You got it. So during these recent times, what inspires you to write and create music?
I think actually being in quarantine, it's inspired me more than ever because I've had so many more people to collaborate with from so many other different places since working in person isn't an option anyway. And I've actually hired a production tutor. So I've been learning how to kind of produce music, and that's really helped me being able to play around with different sounds. That's really helped me to write because I'm so much more inspired all the time by just the different things that come up.
Yeah, I would say a very similar response. Being in quarantine and being able to learn about new tools in the music industry, new sounds, new effects. That's definitely been a big process for me over the quarantine. Also, I do give music lessons. I'm a music teacher, so working with my kids is also very inspiring because they are looking around for something to do in this quarantine. And they look to you. They look to the teacher to give them something new and fresh, inspiring, or teach them something that they want to learn, which sometimes I haven't heard of, which is also very cool when a student brings me something new. So it's definitely been a combination of learning and teaching.
Yeah, it's a whole new experience learning how to perform and create in a virtual world, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're ready for it, though. I think if ever there was a time to be virtual, it's now.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, David. So when you start your songwriting and music making process, is it with a lyric, a melody, a rhythm, or is it something else entirely?
I always have music, like random music popping into my head, like ideas. So usually it just kind of starts with a beat, and then like I write a chorus from there, and then I sort of work my way back and deconstruct it to write the verses. If I really feel drained and uninspired, I'll just pull up a melodic loop and just try to write to it. But usually I don't have to do that. So yeah, it usually starts with the music for me, for sure.
For me, it can be anything. I use a lot of different sounds, and I try to play with a lot of different sounds, and I'll be constantly tweaking them, trying to find out, trying to find out how it sounds good, trying to make it sound good on its own. So if I kind of catch that edge, and something sounds good just through a certain sound effect, maybe I'll run with that, and I'll write an entire piece just based on that one sound. My original process when I first started doing this was to create some kind of a beatbox beat, and usually nothing straightforward. Nothing on the 2 and 4. It was always very kind of sporadic, I guess, in a way. That also led me to create other music off of those patterns. Nowadays, I try to keep it a little more toned down, a little more subdued, a little more just straight ahead with the beat, and let the music on top kind of flow. But sometimes I do like to remind myself, like, hey, go a little crazy on the beatbox, and create a cool beat to play off of. The whole snowballing effect is really what I work off of. Is like one thing influences 7 other things in my production. So.
Yeah, you absolutely appear to be having a wonderful time when you are performing. In fact, I'd actually love to give everyone another chance to hear your music. Would you each do another song for us?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. So Danielle, can you tell us what you'll be performing?
I am now going to perform this year's Halloween single. It's called Skeletons. It came out October 9th, and it's the first single that I mostly produced myself. So I'm really excited for people to hear it.
Oh, that's awesome. I love Halloween, so I'm right there with you. And David, what about you? What will your last song be this time?
So this next and last song is called Po' Boy, kind of like the sandwich. And it was originally fleshed out into a 8-piece funk band that I used to be a part of. So that had horns, drums, guitar, everything. So this is a original song that kind of has been, brought back down to a smaller Stormlooper version. So I hope you guys enjoy.
I'm going to give you guys a moment to get into position. And once we hear both of your last songs, I'm going to give you guys a chance to come up on screen and just comment on what you heard in each other's pieces.
I really think I finally found my Prince Charming. So curious to know where you've been. 'Cause I've never met somebody this perfect. I'm sure there's something underneath your skin. Let's see what's lurking inside. I don't wanna waste any time. So please let out your skeletons, your skeletons, let them come to play. Please let out your skeletons, your skeletons, don't keep them locked away. Secrets and your lies, hiding deep inside. Please let out your skeletons, 'cause they can't be worse than mine. Now don't mind the one who's been sneaking around, she can change. Be kind to the one always jealous, deep down she's afraid. Accept the one who spins the truth, she's fighting lies with lies. Unpack your bag, let's see what you have, and we'll strip off your disguise. So please let skeletons, let them come to play. Please let out your skeletons, your skeletons. Don't keep them locked away. Your secrets and your lies hiding deep inside. Please let out your skeletons, 'cause they can't be worse than mine. You can't deny we all keep secrets, like creatures underneath the bed. Can you hear the bones creak as they reach for you? It's time to let the monsters out of the coffin. So please let out your skeletons, your skeletons. Let them come to play. Please let out your skeletons, your skeletons. Don't keep them locked away. Secrets and your lies, and your lies hiding deep inside. Skeletons, 'cause they can't be worse than mine.
Wow, bravo to both of you on a wonderful final performance. We're going to bring up both of our artists and give them an opportunity to comment on each other's work.
Oh my goodness, Danielle, so good. That was so good. Beyond just you having an incredible voice, an incredible like dynamic range, and you know how to be strong and how to be a little softer too, and that takes some. I know I'm sure you can attest that takes some learning. To know when to be strong, when to be soft. I know one comment I got that really helped was like, do less, play less sometimes, and then play more at other times. But seriously, you have such a great control of your voice, and the songs that you're writing too. I feel like they're really relatable because the theme, even though they're like you said, Halloween kind of songs, the theme is there. The relatable theme of like losing somebody or having a past, like with your skeletons. I think that goes across the board. I think a lot of people can latch onto that from the first verse. So really, really nice. Also, the way that you make your tracks and your music fit the vocals, fit the lyrics and the words and everything, really well done. You get such a great crossover between the vocals and the kind of feeling that you get from the music itself. So awesome. Really loved it.
Thank you. I never thought of it that way. Yeah, so first off, the fact that you can beatbox is so freaking cool. I just really admire your ability to do something like that. And I think the loops, especially, like they just add so much more to a live performance. Like you're still playing stuff live, you're still doing everything, but like you're adding so many cool, interesting elements to it. And I think that's really awesome. And that was a really cool original song, especially like when the rock guitars came in, I was like, yes. I really love the vibe of that track. And yeah, just how you kind of knew how to stack things together, and especially the vocal stacking, that was cool because I love doing that myself. So it was cool to see someone else like really like how you can incorporate that into a performance. That's just really neat. And yeah, I'd never heard the cover done like that before. So I think it was really cool.
Oh, thank you so much.
That was such a beautiful moment getting to hear you guys compliment each other's work. Thank you both for sharing your musical gifts. Danielle, can you tell us where we can hear more of your music?
Sure. So I'm Danielle Hollobaugh on Spotify, iTunes, all those fun places. DanielleHmusic.com kind of has the links to the different stores. My social medias are Danielle H Music. And yeah, if you like holiday music, definitely tune in because I love Christmas time just as much as Halloween, and I've got something really fun coming. So yeah.
Excellent. I will definitely be checking that out, and I know many of our viewers will as well. David, can you tell us where we can go to hear more of your music?
Sure. Any social media handle is going to be at Stormlooper. If you wanted to go on the website that has some other music on it as well, you can go to the imperialstormlooper.com. That whole name right there, just no spaces. And like it says on the screen there, Instagram is where I put most of my content at the moment. So check me out on Instagram for sure.
Absolutely. I will definitely be doing that, and I know many of our viewers will as well. We really appreciate both of you taking the time to be here with us, and we look forward to hearing more amazing music from both of you in the future. Every musician is as distinctive as their music and as unique as the effect that music has on those who experience it. We celebrate our differences, and we are excited to build this unified, creative, and distinct space where those with open minds and open hearts can always strike a common chord. Join us next time when we hear from two brand new artists. On behalf of Daniel's Music Foundation, I thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to being with you again real soon.